Good morning and welcome back to the YouTube channel of Older Bloke Crypto on February the 1st, 2024, just after the daily close. And interesting times with Uncle Jerry and his press conference and the FOMC statement coming out about 5 hours ago now. Very interesting times, and I'll explain to you where I see the market going. I'll also say to you why it's important now not to panic sell, and how these sort of events, these sort of timeframes are very important to mature you as a trader. So let's start with Ethereum. As you know, yesterday, I took an addition to my long trade, added another 5 ETH, as it was confirmed above the 50 EMA here on the daily. And then what happened? FOMC happened, the markets were not particularly excited by what they expected to happen. 97% of the market surveyed expected no change, and they got that. But the nervous Ellies managed to read into Jerome Powell's statement that there was going to be no change to interest rates in March, which was again expected, and it was going to kick down the road till May. So it caused a bit of a short-term sell-off. I'll talk about it in just a minute. But anyway, as you'll see here, we're down below the 50 EMA, we're closed below it, in a solid candle body with very little wicking going on. Would I go add to my existing high time frame short hedge? No, I've had no confirmation that this is going to continue on to the downside. 1 day candle does not a confirmation make. So I'm watching it, of course, and I'll show you in a minute how we're oscillating around a very tight time frame, price range, on another chart. But you'll see here on the daily, if you exclude this deviation to the upside, call it a deviation for now, you see how we're in a very tight range happening here. And so what can happen is you can long and short and so forth, and just build up a massive position that you can't cover with your leverage. And remember, I only trade maximum leverage of 100 times because I have the experience and the capital to do so. You might be a 2.5 times leverage trader. Great. That works for you. You do that. So you've got to do your own trading. And that leads me into the reminder that this is not financial advice. Never is on my videos. And please click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notifications bell so you get notified of all future videos, which I make every weekday here on the channel. Back to it. So that's the thing. No change in position today. I've got my main long position, I've got my short hedge, and that's where it stays for now without other confirmations. Look on the 1 hour chart, and this is a different chart. This looks at a lot of liquidations and so forth. There's different indicators to my Bybit chart. But anyway, you'll see it's a very tight range here. And when I zoom in, so we've got liquidations building up to the upside at 23.94, indicating that there's plenty of shorts coming into the market. No surprise there. It happens all the time with an emotional driven market, which unfortunately crypto is. And you can take advantage of that's for sure, of the emotions when people, the sky is falling as soon as there's a red candle, or we're going to the moon as soon as there's a green candle, and you can really take advantage of that. But let's look at the fundamentals. And although I'm a technical analyst, I still look at the fundamentals because they're very important, and there's a reason people make their careers on fundamental analysis. So I don't prefer it, but it's still important to take note of it in situations like this. And look at this. The VIX is up, yes, it is, but it's still very low at 14, historically low. The S&P and NASDAQ, they're coming off highs. In fact, they're coming off the NASDAQ all-time highs. Of course, you expect a bit of cool down. And especially when there's a bit of negative news, that really, when you're up near the highs, that's really often enough as a catalyst to have a bit of a pullback. The Dixie is up a little bit, nothing to write home about, and the Dow Jones is off as well. But again, these are not landmark figures or anything to be surprised about when their markets have been very close to or at all-time highs. So you expect a pullback. So let's look at liquidity. And of course, you can see what's going on in the last day. And as I said, an emotional driven market. Look at all these shorts building. Now we had the longs squeezed out here. You can see this gap in here. So longs have been taken out, and it hasn't been filled in the last quite a few hours because there's a lot of nervous market participants who don't know what to do, and instead are going into the shorts, and good luck to them. And yes, price may come down some more. You've still got quite a bit of liquidity down here, right down to the 2220 and 2200 levels. There's quite a bit there. And I'll look at more of that on the 7-day chart. But as I said, this is indicative of what happens in this emotionally driven market, all these shorts piling in. But when we look at the 7-day, it's much more balanced. And what I was saying to you on the previous chart about price oscillating, that chart, and more importantly, clearly this chart, price is oscillating in a largely narrow band. And so we go back here and you look at the 7-day and you've got positions built up on both sides. In fact, you would say there's more to the downside. There's more longs in the market than there are shorts, and it looks quite thick down here in the 2200 area. So again, that can trap price down as far as that. Now, the Asian market, we're an hour and a half into the Asian market right now, and the UK markets for quite some days have been doing very little as opposed to the US. Every eye is on the US market. And the common reactions that you see from the Asian and UK markets in relation to the US market, we haven't been seeing for some time, really looking to the US market tonight. And the important thing about the US market tonight is, in contrast to the FOMC, is we've got reporting from the three biggies. We've got Apple, we've got Google, we've got Microsoft are all reporting their earnings today or tonight, US time. So that's going to have a big impact on the market. Now, it could be just volatility up and down, or the market could decide to move on to new all-time highs. And as I was saying here, these numbers for the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow Jones, they're all up significantly and or near all-time highs. So they might get a kick along if there's strong earnings, as expected, strong earnings. Then this negativity that we're seeing here could turn around and we could continue on with this run up. And as I zoom out here, for example, on Ethereum, that's going right back to October. Now that is a beautiful upward channel. And that could easily continue on the high time frame to the upside if we get good earnings and the market decides it's happy. This red candle that you see and the start of a red candle today could easily be engulfed by a big green candle. Similarly, if the earnings disappoint, of course, the market could continue down. And it's easier for the market to continue down at the moment with a negative sentiment than it is to continue up. But that hinges on tonight. So again, I would not be adding to my short. I would not be adding to my long positions because I've got them already established, because remember, I'm a high time frame trader. So I add positions on that basis and not on the short-term blips or noise that we're seeing. And just quickly looking at King Bitcoin, it is holding above that 50 EMA on the daily. It's currently 50 EMA is 41.92. We're at 42.32. So again, it's holding the market up there at the moment. And still you would see this as a deviation until we're informed otherwise by coming down, closing below the 50 EMA and confirming an entire candle, subsequently a daily candle below it. So that's still got some ways to run. So again, I won't be surprised if we get an upward move of the market tonight based on those earnings of the traditional market, which takes crypto with it. But if they disappoint, yes, we could continue to go down, in which case we will then reevaluate tomorrow based on what today's candle does. Sit on your hands is what I do. And as I said, this is an opportunity for you to mature as a trader. And if you haven't already learned it, learn discipline and patience just to sit still and watch to see what the market is telling you. This is Old Bloke Crypto. Have a great day. Have a great trading day by doing nothing. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.